Salawam, Kol Holo Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Raha HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name is Barad Duvall, coming to you from the GMS campus, Indianapolis. And to all those listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom, especially to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. As you can see, um, I have had a title, but I'll officially have one once, I guess you say post production. But as you can see, it says we're being forced to ruin people's lives. Former Tennessee troopers say DUI quotes, and let's see if we can get more, lead to, okay? So what actually is something how the Lord has been exposing the system of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, also known, the nation in which they run, uh, America, the ins and outs of America, and then of course the head elites of Esau Edom, which are the Amalekites, who are currently residing in the land of the true Israelites. Okay, and claim to be the people, but are far from it. Okay, so the reason I bring this up is sparked because we were actually in a chat, and the elder had our elder had posted saying, hey, you guys be careful going out and on the highways. He said for some reason that particular day the highway was full of sheriffs and police, um, all throughout, had people pulled over. And of course, playfully but serious, like I did a video before, there's seriousness in jest. I playfully, made the statement, and said, yeah, it looks like they're trying to get that quota. And of course, this is a saying, I grew up, hearing that, once you get to close to the first of the month, the second, or the first and 15th of the month, um, the end of the month, beginning of the month, certain parts of months, you start to see that there's a heavy increase of police pulling over and over the citizens, and find that there is a lot of citations and things being drawn up. And then the process of all of that, miraculously, you notice that there are a lot of roads being built and um, new infrastructures and things like that. So, of course, with us being at in a more macro level, uh, being at the smallest level, you don't necessarily are able to put two together as to say that where all of this money will go to. Actually, a brother, also brother Barzal, had made a mention, but that the back in July 2020, I believe he stated that there was that the enforcement of driving hands free was being enforced. And what he actually mentioned in that as well is that, you know, in the process of, I think this year, dating back, I forget the month that he mentioned, but thing I do mention that stood out was that there were roughly 7,000 plus um, citations that were written. Now, thinking of that 7,000 citations being written, and let's just say on a given time that it was, which is typically more, but let's say $100 per citation. You're looking at upwards to seven 70,000. If I can get that right, it could be 70 to seven. Let's do the number. I got a calculator, as we can see 700 or 7,000 times 100. Oh, wrong. Slovakia. 7,000 times 100. So $700,000. Okay, and this is just throwing out a arbitrary number. All right, just considering that if these 7,000 people, and it was more than that, that all received a citation of um $100. Okay, so just think of that as a thing, and that's um $700,000 that's going back to where? All right, it's feeding back to what system? So I just had these things in mind, and this was something that came to mind, and through the spirit of Habashim Shai, days that went by, and I come across this video. But before we get started, I did a lot of talking already. Let's pull up one scripture, and then we'll go from there. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter chapter 49, verse 10. He says, "But I have made Esau bare; I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." So, of course, if you have a system and you control the system and you can govern certain areas a certain way to your benefit, how do you get more money for a certain thing, right? Just throwing it out. Raise taxes, certain areas. We don't have control over the macro, the people that can see everything. So who's to say? For example, when you actually have electric bills and your electric bill goes up, uh, $10, but there's 100,000 people, in the area who all electric bills go up $10. Well, we know that electric bills have skyrocketed and gone up even more in certain areas, but just think that extra $10, how much more a company is actually gaining. I actually had a situation as far as insurance companies. Everybody's paying their bill electronically and the money's coming directly out. But then when you actually happen to take a moment and check your bill, you see that an additional 50 cents to a dollar's been added, to your bill, and you go call about it, and they don't have an answer for it. And so, again, like I mentioned before, you do that to a million people, add an additional dollar, and people are just paying that dollar, and it doesn't seem like much, but as a whole, that company just got $1 million. All right, and so these are examples of what I'm mentioning, of things that we're not really privy to, and how things happen in the system. And so even with the increase of taxes, certain areas, taxes, certain schools, receive certain benefits from the taxes, and water increase in certain areas. Again, we're living amongst a system that will do certain things, take and take and take from the people, only to provide for themselves, their family, or to the higher levels, elites. Okay. So again, I'll read this one more time. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare, and I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." So they're living high, what they say, high off the hog is a term. They're living the good life, right? They're free without, any type of punishment for the things that they actually do. And so the scriptures do talk about how, those sentences against the evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the hearts of the Son of Man is fully set in them to do evil. So if they can get away with something this small, how much more the greater and more evil things that we're not even privy to even knowing. But the Lord is uncovering those things and letting us know who the wicked really is. So let's get into this video. It's 5 minutes. Again, this is fair use. Fair use. This is solely for educational purposes. Come across this video through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and I'm just going to play it, and then I got two scriptures, and we'll end from there. So hopefully, again, this is edifying, uplifting, and exhorting to some sort of the like body of true believers. Here we go.
This is corruption. We're ruining people's lives. We're being forced to ruin people's lives.
Former state troopers are coming forward tonight, blowing the whistle, they say, on a quota system that's leaving innocent people charged with crimes they did not commit. Good evening. I'm Lauren Lowry.
And I'm Marius Payton.
I'm Tracy Cornett. The next time you're out driving on the interstate, especially late, you're going to be thinking about what WSMV4 Investigates has now uncovered.
Chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley is here with the latest on his sobering problem investigation.
Well, guys, what we've uncovered is more than just two former troopers coming forward about what they say is a system designed to pressure troopers into making as many DUI arrests as possible. We've also obtained a secretly recorded meeting and internal maps that troopers say explains why so many innocent people are being charged with DUI. We've told you about Thomas Manis's arrest and Stephanie Fair's and Candace Slade's and all the other people arrested for DUI by state troopers when they were completely sober. But we've never heard from any of the troopers who've arrested sober people for DUI until now.
This is corruption. We're ruining people's lives. We're being forced to ruin people's lives.
Do you know if you've ever arrested a sober driver for DUI?
Yes, sir. I'm sure I have.
Former troopers Ashley Smith and Adam Potts say there's a reason so many innocent people have been arrested for DUI in Tennessee by state troopers. A reason, they say, revealed in these internal maps and recorded audio from a troopers meeting in Chattanooga.
Arrest every DUI that you can get your hands on.
We've always thought this was a great thing because you want to get drunk drivers off the road. Do you feel like that this push to get DUIs is eventually having a negative outcome?
Absolutely. There's pressure to arrest DUIs.
Potts says it's not just pressure.
It's a quota.
I have to ask you, did you ever feel pressure just to pull someone over and arrest them for DUI just to make a quota?
Absolutely.
It's something directly addressed in recorded audio from a meeting with Captain Patrick Turner out of Chattanooga, obtained by WSMV4 Investigates.
I'm passing on the message of what the command staff wants. What does hard work look like? Well, it could look like arresting 100 plus DUIs a year.
In that meeting, it stipulated to troopers on the midnight shift, 100 DUI arrests will be required each year per trooper.
If they're DUI, I want you to load the jail full of them.
Turner also talks about consequences when it comes to how many DUI arrests are made, as well as contacts, meaning drivers pulled over each shift.
You turn in 33 DUIs per year and 1.7 contacts, you're going to get spanked.
But despite what you just heard, this is what the THP emailed us. Quote, the Tennessee Highway Patrol does not have or use quotas for traffic stops, citations, or arrests. And there's more. In emails obtained through the Open Records Act, Captain Bruce McCarley sent out maps this year, subject line DUI map. It shows every county in District 8 and every trooper with a number next to it. These former troopers say those are the numbers of DUI arrests made by each trooper. What is the message to you all? Why send this out to troopers?
You're not doing good enough because somebody else is beating you with the DUIs. You need to do better.
These former troopers say there are incentives for troopers to make DUI arrests.
The advantage of arresting somebody, whether they're really drunk or not, is I continue to get that premium overtime.
So does that translate to troopers feeling like, if I'm working this shift, I've got to find somebody to arrest?
Absolutely.
For full transparency, both Potts and Smith were fired by the THP. Potts pleaded guilty to leaving the scene of a single car accident involving his personal vehicle.
I made a mistake. I had to crash off duty.
And the THP is seeking to decertify Smith, accusing her of helping a family member to get out of a DUI. She's fighting that claim before the state. The THP may simply say that you're just a disgruntled employee, and that's why you're coming forward.
I would have said something before if it wouldn't have been career suicide for me.
As for what the THP says about their claims and everything else we've obtained, we don't know. Colonel, this is Jeremy Finley with Channel 4. After we tried to speak with the head of the THP in August and he drove away in a car, we once again sent our findings to them, asking for an interview. Instead, they sent a statement reading in part, "Troopers are highly trained and expected to use their judgment and make necessary traffic stops based on observed violations and public safety needs."
I think they really don't care about the citizens. I think they care about the way it looks, the perception.
Never sue the other driver after.
So as you can see, the statement there, the quota. I guess that would be the name, of this lesson. But the point of the matter is, you got a detail as to think if they're doing that, and when they showed that picture in Tennessee, it was a lot of so-called uh, Edomites. I say so-called because again, we could be mixed in as far as those people. I mean, some of those could have been our people as well. However, the point still remains: a lot of those people were innocent, and it's very hard when if you're in the hands of the enemy, and when they make these false claims and things like that, it's very hard to get out of it unless Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai as is with you. Okay, so here's a scripture here. This is the book of Psalms chapter 8. I mean, excuse me, 68 verse 8, 64 verse 8. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away." And this is the reason why a lot of people are going into their own lands. A lot of people, of course, the elect is no longer staying upon them, upon him that smote them. Esau has put mass afflictions. Some of these same things has happened within the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community by being pulled over by the police, said that there's not a seatbelt, said you've been speeding, um, uh, getting arrested, and then of course those of our people don't necessarily have um, um, access to good counsel. All right, and so even within the system, they all work amongst themselves, and of course, then you come out paying fines and money and different fees, having your license revoked, um, and it's very hard to get out of these things. And so this is like the life in which our people have dealt with, and now you see that this thing is being ousted because it's affecting their own people much greater. And so, of course, the curses that's been placed upon our people, as Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai had told Moses in Deuteronomy that he's going to place these curses upon them. And now you see that they're actually speaking out about it. This is the last scripture. This is the book of Nahum. Well, no, that was it. Oh, well, I just get the main part I wanted is in one. Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." Right? So, that which is then is now. This place was established by robbery, by theft, and like Yahweh Shai said, "The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy." And so that's um, all they do. And when you look at this particular thing, that is stealing, from the people, but you're using the system and legality, and hiding behind that, cloaking yourself behind that as something of worth, when in actuality you've used it, um, and that deceptiveness, to take advantage of the people. And people are getting wind of it, and pretty soon that you're going to see why, the people, sedition among men, people inside within the city are mad, outside of the nations are mad, all over at this particular wicked individual. Esau Edom, so-called white man. So I hope that this lesson is edifying, uplifting, and exhorting to the elect body of true believers. Before I end, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahahakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. Until next time, all those listening and learning to you, I say, Shalom.